But I think all of us can understand that at 8 years old, if you are the kind of person who shows emotion and cries and everybody laughs at you when you cry, it sucks. It really sucks because when you're 8, other than your parents, the only thing that matters are the friends and people around you in terms of how they feel and think about you. So at some point during that age period, he just stopped showing emotions in a way, or at least really learned that it was not okay to show emotions.
Happy Monday, everyone. It's Sophie.
And Adi.
We're always looking for new ways to support you, and we know firsthand how life can get in the way.
So we've created 5-minute episodes with motivation from us and our great friends to keep you feeling ignited and inspired no matter what life throws at you.
Welcome to the Ignited Motivation Podcast. Mini episodes every Monday.
Listen while you brush your teeth.
Or on your morning walk.
And you'll never miss out on the latest tips and tricks that are keeping us feeling motivated.
So many of us have lived for years, sometimes decades, repressing, holding back, bearing, ignoring really, really important feelings that we've had. And there's this belief, true or not, but there's this belief that, at least in those of us who are doing this work, that like getting to the other side of that and releasing it is the magic formula and it's going to feel really, really good. Now, by the way, I buy into that belief, and it can be a freaking nightmare going through it though. So I had this session with this client, and yesterday we did this really deep work, and he was having a hard time. So in the middle, he kind of called himself out on it, which was already a big deal because 4 months ago, before we started working together, he would never consider telling his therapist or psychologist that something wasn't working. He would just eat it and just pretend like, oh, that was amazing, and just go home being really kind of anxious and pissed. So he told me he was having a hard time. So we stopped what we were doing and we kind of just processed that. And it took hours. And after hours, it wasn't done. It was slightly better. Slightly. So I'm calling myself out here. You know, it was like 7:30 p.m. We'd started working at 9. And he was bad. It wasn't like there was no suicidality. He wasn't like super bad. He was just not feeling comfortable. And part of me was not okay leaving because I wanted him to be good. And part of him, I think, was scared of being by himself after not feeling good because he hasn't admitted to himself that he hasn't felt good in decades. But, you know, it's like 7:30. I'm like thinking to myself in my head, I got to go home. I've been here for like 10 and a half hours. I got to get home. So we closed it nicely, and he ended up talking to his wife, and it was all good. Then I got a text from him this morning, and I could assume he was still feeling something, but I was in the middle of another session. I ended up calling him later, and he was feeling something still. And we spent another hour or so processing. And in the middle, so this is now maybe like 7 hours of us processing it, but he already had the conversation with his wife and the night to sleep on it and the morning. So it had been 12, 13 hours since this came up for him. That's a long time to feel uncomfortable. And in the middle of it, he goes, because I'm trying to figure out when has this come up for you? When have you felt this pained and uncomfortable before? And then the story comes out. And the story is, you know, when I was a kid, like 7, 8, 9 years old, I used to cry a lot. And the kids at school made fun of me, and my cousins made fun of me, and all my family members kind of like pointed their finger and laughed at me whenever I would cry. That's not a big T trauma. That's not like somebody sexually molested me, or I saw an accident, or somebody got killed in front of me. But I think all of us can understand that at 8 years old, if you are the kind of person who shows emotion and cries and everybody laughs at you when you cry, it sucks. It really sucks because when you're 8, other than your parents, the only thing that matters are the friends and people around you in terms of how they feel and think about you. So at some point during that age period, he just stopped showing emotions in a way, or at least really learned that it was not okay to show emotions. Now, the guy's 46 years old, he's the same age as I am. So we're talking about, 30 some years, right? Like 38 years of this way of thinking.
You just listened to the Ignited Motivation Podcast.
Did you love the mini dose of motivation? Please let us know. Your feedback and experience is our #1 motivator. Leave us a review, subscribe, and share with your favorite people on your favorite apps. And don't forget to catch the next episode every Monday.
Because we want to hear from you. So join the conversation and discover bonus content on our website and Instagram. You can find the links in the show notes. Now that you're ignited, what are you motivated to take on?